The Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 1. This is the popular trial scene in which Antonio is tried in a Venetian court of law. The Duke, who is the judge himself, appeals to the bloodthirsty Jew to be merciful and to pity the royal ruined merchant Antonio. Bassanio even offers double the amount to Shylock, but all efforts go in vain because Shylock is determined to have his bond only. Portia, disguised as a lawyer, makes the famous speech on quality of mercy, but the Jew does not relent in the least. Little did Shylock realize that Portia, with her intelligence and plans, was actually asking him to mercy himself by mercying the merchant. She now wins his trust, and just as he puts his armor down, Portia pricks his bubble. She allows him to have his bond, but without shedding even a single drop of Antonio's Christian blood. Shylock falls in his own trap, and after losing his bond, he has to depart with one half of his goods and the other half to be kept in trust, if only he becomes a Christian and bequeaths his property to Jessica and Lorenzo. In this scene, Shylock will be played by Shomili, Portia by Ventrilla, and Antonio and Graciano by Ronak. Venice, a court of justice, enter Antonio and Bassanio. What, is Antonio here?
Ready. So please your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from every dram of mercy.
I've heard your grace hath taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course. But since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and unarmed with the quietness of spirit, the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go on and call the Jew into the court. He is ready at the door. He comes, my lord. Make room and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadest this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act, and then 'tis thought thou wilt show thy mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. And where thou now exactest the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only lose the forfeiture, but touched with human gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principal. Glancing an eye of pity on his losses that have of late so huddled on his back, and now to press a royal merchant down, and pluck commiseration of his state from brassy bosoms and rough hearts of flint, from stubborn Turks and Tartars, never trained to offices of tender courtesy, we all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by the holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeiture of my bond. If you deny me, the danger light upon your charter and our city's freedom. You'll ask me why I would rather have a pound of carrion flesh than to have 3,000 ducats. I will answer that, but say 'tis my humour. What if my house be troubled with a rat, and I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it back? What? I have answered. Some men there are who like not a gaping pig, some that are mad when they behold a cat, and some when the backbiting's eager nose cannot restrain themselves mistress of passion, sways it to the mood of what it likes and loathes. Now for your answer, as there is no firm reason to be rendered, why he cannot abide a keeping pig, why he a harmless necessary cat, and why he a woolen bagpipe of force as to offend himself being offended. There is also no reason why I would take his flesh more than a lodged hatred and a certain loathing that I bear Antonio. Answer, shall I have it?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answer.
Do all men kill things that they do not love?
Hates any man the thing he would not kill?
Every offense is not a hate at first.
What would thou have done if a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you, think you question with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and beg the men fly, bid his usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf. Why had he made the ewe bleed for the lamb? You may as well forbid the mountain pines to wag their high tops and make no noise when they are threatened by the gusts of heaven. You may as well do anything most hard and seek to soften that, than which was harder, his Jewish heart. Therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no further means, but with plain and brief convenience, let me have my judgment, and do his will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
If every 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts and every part a ducat, I would not have taken that. I would take my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy rendering none?
What judgment shall I dread doing no wrong? You have among yourselves many a purchased slaves, which like your asses and mules and dogs you use in abject and slavish parts. What if I say, free them, marry them to your heirs? Let their beds be as soft as yours, and let their plates be full with such beautiful viands. You will answer me, the slaves are ours. So do I. The pound of flesh that I demand of him is dearly bought, and I will have it. There is no decree in the law of Venice to alter me. Answer, shall I have it?
Upon my power, I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor, whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today.
My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua.
Bring us the letters, call the messenger.
Good cheer, Antonio, what man, courage yet! The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones and all, ere thou shalt lose hope for me one drop of blood.
I am a tainted wether of the flock, meat is for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops eyes to the ground, and so let me. You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph.
Come you from Padua, from Bellario?
From both, my lord. Bellario greets your presence. Why dost thou yet thy knife so honestly?
To cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, not on thy soul, harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen. No metal can, no! Not even the handsman is ever half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no praise pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast written after me.
Oh, be thou damned execrable dog! For thy life, let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras that souls of animals infuse themselves in the trunks of men. Thy cold spirit govern a wolf. who hanged for human slaughter. Even from the gallows did his fair soul flee, and when thou layest in thy unhallowed den, it infused itself in thee, for thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous.
Till thou canst rail the silverum of my bond, repair thy wit, or it shall fall hard to careless rain. I stand here for judgment.
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young, unlearned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attended here hard by to know your answer whether you'll admit him.
With all my heart, some 3 or 4 of you go give him courteous conduct to this place. Meantime, the court shall hear Bellario's letter. Your grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter, I am very sick. But in the instant that your messenger came, in loving visitation, was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the cause and controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned over many books together. He is furnished with my opinion, which bettered with his own learning, the greatness whereof I cannot enough commend, comes with him at my importunity, to fill up your grace's request in my stead. I beseech you, let his lack of years be no impediment to let him lack a reverent estimation, for I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish his commendation. You hear the learned Bellario, what he writes, and here, I take it, is the doctor come. Give me your hand. Come you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court?
I am informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here, and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock both stand forth.
Is Shylock your name?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in the Venetian law one cannot impugn you. You proceed with a dangerous case. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
On what compulsion may I tell me that?
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth like the gentle rain from heaven on the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. It becomes better than the crown of the throned monarch. The scepter shows this temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty. Wherein doth sit the dread and the fear of kings, it is above the sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and whereby it learns in the hearts of the earth, it is an attribute to God. Therefore, Jew, though you plead justice, I must make you remember that. Therefore, Jew, the mercy be thy plea. You should remember that we all want salvation, and that same prayer that teaches all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which, if thou continue, the court can give the judgment to the merchant here.
My deeds upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty, and forfeiture of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, here I tender it for him in the court, ye twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will be bound to pay 10 times over on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth. And I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority to do great right do a little wrong and curb this cruel devil of his will?
That cannot be. There is no power in Venice that can alter a decree established. It's by that same example many an error will rush into the court. It cannot be.
How dare you come to judgment? How dare you?
I pray you, take the bond and let
Let me see the bond.
I pray you.